Thank you, everybody. Welcome to the annual Ohio State-Michigan Great Debate, sponsored by the Hilliard Rotary Club. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. Thank you so much for being a part of this great event. Of course, we have a lot of fun, and of course, we raise a ton of money for charity while having fun, which is just the best as far as I'm concerned. And we are again lucky once again this year to have as our host one of the most beloved media personalities in all of Columbus. A tremendous comedian, a tremendous radio host, and a very, very good friend of mine. It's such a thrill that he's agreed to do this event again. Ladies and gentlemen, my very, very good friend, the host of The Great Debate, Dino Tripodis!
Thank you. Dino Tripodis with you. Once again, my second year. I made it through the first year. Nice to be back. Are you happy to be here? Dino Tripodis from Sunny 95. I'm happy to be anywhere. Sunny 95, your continuous Christmas music station. You laugh. I listen. You know there's only 7 freaking Christmas songs out there. You realize that, don't you? And 150 artists that do them. It's all right. The Michigan game is later than it's ever been. Christmas comes earlier than it's ever been. Fine. Just Halloween wasn't even done where trees started going up and pilgrim displays had Nutcracker soldiers rubbing up against their butts trying to push them out of the way. Then we started playing Christmas music, which is okay. It's all right. I'm thrilled to be here for the Great Debate, my second year, and it's been an interesting year. Right out of the gate, we all got the text message, Braxton Miller out for the season. What do we do? What's gonna happen? We're gonna suck. Win our first game, no problem. Virginia Tech, we stumble. But then J.T. Barrett finds his way in an incredible way. And the Buckeyes start to spark once again, start to win. Slip and slide a little bit here and there, a few tweaks here and there. All of a sudden, J.T. Barrett is a star. Beginning of the season, Coach Urban Meyer says Braxton Miller's still our guy. JT's doing a great job, but Braxton Miller's still our guy. But as the season goes on, what does he say? Next year, there will be a competition to see who will be the next quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let the Hunger Games begin! More of you got that than I thought. That's kind of a young reference. Thank you. The Michigan game will have obviously 2 different coaching styles. You know what? I don't know what this is. I know what it is, but I keep hitting it. It looks like a bell, but it doesn't even freaking ring. The Rotary of Hilliard, a fine organization, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean to besmirch the organization that brought you here today, but maybe get a bell that freaking rings. He said at his last appearance at the Great Debate. Different styles of coaching, obviously, that we can look forward to. Urban Meyer is on the sidelines using his headset, listening to his coordinators up in the booth. Brady Hoke on the sidelines, no headset, listening to the voices in his head. Oh, thank you. bells on Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve in the morning. I don't know Coach Meyer personally. I did know his predecessor, Coach Jim Trussell, very well. Coach Trussell and I were friends. He was a fan of the morning show. He was a frequent guest on the morning show. He actually hosted with me on the morning show. I had his private cell phone number. I broke bread with him, and it was great. All I've gotten from Coach Urban Meyer is a restraining order thus far, so I just want to be your friend. But I do have something exclusive to offer you before we kick off the debate today. Apparently both coaches are fans of journaling. Some might call it a diary, but men don't write in a diary. Men journal. They write, express their thoughts. And apparently we've come across some of the thoughts of both coaches over the course of a season, so I'd like to share some of the ones that I took here today. This one is from Coach Urban Meyer after the Virginia Tech loss. Tough loss to Virginia Tech. JT did as well as he could and as well as we could hope for, I guess. Speaking of JT, wow, that Justin Timberlake sure has some moves, huh? Make sure to bring sexy back to the sideline. This one's from Coach Brady Hoke. Sad after losing to Rutgers. Really depressed. Went home and ordered a bunch of Jimmy John subs. They don't deliver nearly as fast as they do on the commercials. Man, it's one disappointment after the other. This one's from Coach Urban Meyer after the Michigan State game. Couldn't help myself. I actually cracked a smile after the Michigan State win because he's a rather stoic individual. But I gotta be careful because I know every time I smile, a dove dies. What? Coach Brady Hoke. Can't help it. After a win, I feel like that fat girl in the movie Pitch Perfect, and all I want to do is sing. Oh, you got Hunger Games, but you didn't get Pitch Perfect. Okay. Fine, I get it. This one's also from Coach Brady Hoke. We put a hurt on Appaloo. Damn it, I don't know how to spell Appalachian State. Oh, wait, I just did. LOL, I'm an idiot. And finally, this is one of this from Coach Urban Meyer as well. After Minnesota win, can't say enough about JT Barrett. Gonna mention him for Heisman consideration. Meanwhile, some kid with a bad shoulder keeps bugging me about playing next year. And those are just some of the excerpts that you have from the personal journals. Everybody always has I noticed last year, everybody always has a Ohio State Michigan story to share. And why I may share this one and why it may sound a bit maudlin to begin with, trust me, I'll get there, so stay with me. It was 8 years ago when Ohio State and Michigan were number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2. Now in September of that year, before we ever got to the number 1 and 2 status, my father, who lived in Greece, took ill. And they said to me, Dino, come to Greece. Your father, he's dying. You must see him before he dies. I went, of course. I jumped on a plane and I went to Greece. I went to the small island called Icaria. And I saw my father. And there he was on his deathbed. And I went to see him and said, Pop, I'm here. Because my father and I had a very strained relationship. We weren't very close over the last 20 years or so. But, you know, you had to put all that aside because he's my father. And I sat by his bedside. And I said, Pop, I'm here. If you want to go, go. He didn't die. I went to the next day. Pop, if you want to go, go. I'm here. 10 days went by, my father did not pass. And as I went into the village and sat and kept going back and forth with this tremendous amount of stress, one of my father's friends actually came and sat by me, and he goes, "How is your father?" And I go, Alexi, he's not doing very good. And this is what he said to me. He goes, "It's a sorrowful glass. Best to drink it in one gulp." How wise and profound is that? And it just came right out of his mouth. People in Europe say the coolest things. And when I came home, I tried to do that. I tried to be that wise. I ran into an old buddy of mine from college. I go, "Man, how you doing?" He goes, "I'm having some urinary and prostate problems." I go, "Well, a swollen nutsack is best kept in the warm winter." What? I don't know. Let's go get coffee. My father didn't die. Not in September. Not in October. I find out from my college roommate, same roommate, that he's got tickets on the 40-yard line for Ohio State and Michigan. On the 40-yard line. 1 versus 2. And on the Thursday before the Ohio State-Michigan game, my father dies. Oh, you can laugh. Go ahead. It's all right. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. We weren't close for 20 years. If you were going to do one solid, let it be this one. And hang on a little bit longer. And all my friends were this is the best part, all my friends were so concerned and so sympathetic. They're like, "Man, heard about your dad, man. You all right?" I go, "Yeah, it's a long story between me and my father, but I'm okay, man. Thanks for being there for me." "Yeah, man, no problem. Happy to be there for you." So, those tickets. And that, my friends, are true Ohio State fans right there. All right, you guys ready to get started? Are you ready to get started? Our first guest tonight from the Michigan side of things, I'm proud to say, is actually someone of importance. From the University of Michigan, please welcome Michael Weatherby.
Thanks, Gino. You mentioned your radio station plays Christmas music 24/7.
Right now.
Are you playing my favorite, being a Michigan supporter, my favorite Christmas song, Blue Christmas? Are you playing that?
No, but we are playing the 2014 theme song of the Michigan Wolverines, Home for the Holidays.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me here at this beautiful facility amongst the estimable leaders of business in this crowd, community leaders, Buckeye Man. How you doing? Good to see you. What's that? Must be, well, thank you very much. It's been confirmed that he does not take off his scarlet and gray wig during the anthem, but we welcome Buckeye Man. Give him a hand. As Gino said, my name is Michael Weatherby, and I am the... Dino. Thank you. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the University of Michigan. Before I get started, when I go to speaking engagements like this, I like to warm up the crowd a little bit, so let's do one of my favorite verbal exercises real quick. It's easy. When I say Ohio, you say sucks. Ohio. Sucks. Ohio. Sucks. Great job, guys. Good job. Give yourself a round of applause. That was great. As you may have heard, our most recent Director of Athletics, David Brandon, resigned last month. Resigned last month. And I'm on a nationwide search for the best and the brightest candidates for this critical position. And yes, the right candidate might even be here in Ohio. What's that? I could have Gene Smith. We'll take him, sir. Thank you very much. Before I tell you a little bit about what we're looking for, just a quick shout out about how nice it is to see the legendary Jack Park here today. Jack, where are you? Jack? Doing a great job, Jack, as always. Hey, Jack, on October 22nd, 1922, Ohio Stadium was formally dedicated. Let's see how sharp you are. Who did Ohio State play that afternoon? And who won the game? Damn right. Now, very good, Jack. Come say hi after the program. I have one of these Ohio Sucks buttons for you after the show. And that's what I want to express today before all else. The next University of Michigan Director of Athletics will be in charge of 27 men's and women's programs, including, with 915 all-time wins, the greatest program in college football history. We do have Michael Phelps, yes. And although it's looking as though that win total may be staying that way for a while, I have no doubt that whoever we hire will lead us to many more in the future. By the way, and I think I speak for the entire University of Michigan and Ann Arbor community here, I would be remiss if I didn't thank the many, many of you out there from the bottom of my heart for all the lovely and sincere tweets, Facebook posts, and emails we received congratulating us on our huge victory earlier this season over Appalachian State. So thank you very much. Mark my words, folks, we're coming for you next year, Rutgers. Now, at the University of Michigan, the Director of Athletics is responsible for implementing the goals and policies of the Intercollegiate Athletic Program as set forth by the University of Michigan President, its Student Athletic Council, and Adidas. Foremost among these goals is to put all of the necessary groundwork in place so that the football team can finish at least third in the Big Ten's East Division. This is a must. It really is. I mean, I'm sure all of you have heard the old saying that you have to learn to crawl before you can walk. Or as the great Bo Schembechler, may God rest his soul, used to say, how can we expect to ever be invited to the Music City Bowl without first proving we're worthy of the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl? One of the top qualities we're looking for in the next University of Michigan athletic director is a man or woman who has proven he or she is a visionary, much like the legendary former athletic director / football coach Fielding Yost, who once declared that Michigan Stadium would one day need 150,000 seats. And though that was a clear misfire given the team's record the past few seasons, Yost did invent the position of linebacker. By the way, what's the hardest play to make in baseball? Anybody? Fielding Yost. You could use that in your comedy skits. We have a flag on the play.
We have a call, a 10-yard penalty for false start of humor.
Oh!
Repeat second down.
Second and long. Sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. I mean, if you know what I've been through this season. We're also looking for candidates with an advanced degree. A master's is fine, but we prefer a doctorate. After all, we're the proud producer of a roster of Nobel Prize winners that's longer than the list of games John Cooper lost to our football team. The Nobel laureates who are Michigan alumni include the 1976 winner of physics, Samuel C.C. Ting, the 1985 winner for chemistry, Jerome Kale, and history's only three-time winner of the Nobel, the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, who won for mathematics, for physics, and of course, thanks to his best-selling manifesto, literature. In closing, if you're interested in this position and think you have what it takes to lead the University of Michigan athletics program, please email me at codeblue@aol.com. If we like what we see, we'll get a hold of you, and if we don't, we'll hang on to your resume for future positions. For example, and this isn't to leave this room, but I hear there may be a coaching vacancy opening up really soon. Thank you very much, and go Blue.
Michael Weatherby, who in actuality is Daryl Dawson. Give him a round of applause. Daryl Dawson, you can see him at comedy clubs across the country. And you can check him out at Twitter at Daryl Dawson. So thank you, Daryl. Thank you very much. As we, first of all, let me see the man you heard from, our referee. Once again, nice round of applause for Doug Lascelles, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Lascelles right there.
Dino, it is great to be back as your completely impartial, unbiased, and objective referee.
I like it.
We're going to have a clean and fair debate. All right, it won't be clean or fair, but we will have a debate.
And you're going to score after after an Ohio State voice comes up here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, no, I got to score the Michigan one.
You want to score them right
Yeah,
now?
oh, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. What do you give them?
So we give them the touchdown, but we're going to have to take away the extra point for delay of punchline. So 6 points for Michigan.
So Michigan leads 6-0, but that could change. I really hope that was just the response of Michigan. Somebody's not actually dying back there.
I think Buckeye guy choked on a Buckeye.
Our next debater for the Ohio State side is Sumak Turgulkar, is a stand-up comedian, a freelance writer, a sports fan living right here in Columbus, Ohio. You can see him at comedy clubs across the country. He has a regular column in Columbus Alive called Sports Bites, and he's also contributed to still one of my favorite magazines of all time, Mad Magazine. Please welcome Sumak Turgulkar, ladies and gentlemen.
Another round of applause for Dino, another round of applause for him, and thank you again to the Rotary Club of Hilliard for having me back, and thanks to be a part of this great Ohio State team on this side. A round of applause for them. We have a wonderful group here on the Michigan side. I like all of them because they look like they could pass for Art Schleister's bookie, so that's nice. No, really, they all look like they passed Brady Hoke's concussion test pretty well, right, with flying colors? But give it up for Michigan. Brady Hoke runs a very clean program. None of his players have sold their autographs for money, but that's pretty easy when no one wants your autograph. But give it up for Michigan. At least Brady Hoke pays for all the crab legs he eats. So it's good. Look, anytime you talk to a Michigan person, they'll tell you that Michigan has a finer educational program than Ohio State, that's the better school to go to for your education. So, okay, let's learn a little bit and take some of the subjects we could learn at Michigan and apply them now. Statistics. So for a brief period of time, Michigan was giving away 2 free tickets to the Minnesota game with the purchase of 2 Coke products. Which, after that game, 100% of Michigan fans said, I'm now a Pepsi drinker. So, medicine. The injury report for the Ohio State-Michigan game is out already. Interestingly, Michigan fans are questionable for the game due to recurring injuries to their eyes and liver. So, music. If you didn't know, Madonna is an alumnus of the University of Michigan. She's clearly using her degree. So, as we know, the Michigan fight song is The Victors, but this season it actually changed to Madonna's Like a Prayer. And actually, after the Minnesota game, it was Madonna's Die Another Day. So, and now it'll actually be Madonna's version of Home for the Holidays, right, Dino? She just released it. Ethics, okay? Brady Hoke is probably on his way out, and many people say it's likely Jim Harbaugh will be the next head coach. What a match. Jim Harbaugh in Michigan sounds as perfect as Charles Manson and his new wife. So, have a good time with that, Michigan. Business. So, Dave Brandon stepped down as the athletic director of Michigan. Previously, he was the CEO at Domino's Pizza. So I think we're all looking forward to the arrival of the new Michigan AD, Papa John, right? Worse ingredients, worse football, University of Michigan. Public relations. So one of the criticisms of Dave Brandon was during the Shane Morris concussion scandal. He released an official statement on it at 1 in the morning. Which is ironically when drunk Michigan students are most likely eating Domino's pizza. So, I think he's still on Domino's time, you know? Look, just to let all of you know, I have a degree in English literature, which, if you go to either Ohio State or Michigan, both are meaningless degrees, just to let you know. Doesn't matter. That's the great thing that bonds those schools. But as a result, this today is the one time I could actually use that degree for some reason. Because if you didn't know, the great American poet Robert Frost went to the University of Michigan. He was employed there for 6 years, from 1921 to 1927. In 1923, one of his greatest poems was published. It was called Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. You might be familiar with it. So, to take my English degree and put it to good use, I've made a version of Robert Frost's poem, which I'll share with all of you now, called Stopping by Michigan Never. Who's Michigan this, I think I know. Ann Arbor is in disarray, though. They will not see me stopping here to watch the game of football blow. My little dog must think it queer. To watch that team, I'd drink 10 beers. This game for the team up north, the darkest Saturday of the years. So Hoke will give Meyer a shake and say to him, I'm a mistake. The only other sound's a win, in blowout fashion, for goodness sake. Michigan is sad, lost and stray, but my blood, it runs scarlet and gray. So I say to all of you, few miles to go to National Title Day. Few miles to go to National Title Day. Go Bucks, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Sumac, Tor Galkar. Give him a nice round of applause once again, please. Thank you. Also want to make a couple of mentions and notes as the afternoon goes on. One of the improvements of the Great Debate are a couple of lovely young ladies who are circling the room, filling your beers. One of them is the lovely Maddie Spielman. Where is Maddie? Maddie, where you at? Right over there. Maddie, thank you. And one of them is the owner of Lucky's, where we're going to, and nobody, I don't have your name. What's your name? What is it? Monica. Nice round of applause for Monica, who are circling the room, filling our empty beers. Circling the room, filling our empty beers. Come on, it's 1:30. What am I, Amish? Is there any Amish in the room? God bless you, and thank you for coming to the Great Debate. We'll move things along because we know you got to build a roof. As we bring up yet another Michigan. Oh my gosh, it's Sumac. I forgot the score, Doug.
We got to give a score.
Guys, give a score to Sumac.
Right, we definitely score a touchdown. And at this highbrow event, anybody who busts out a Robert Frost reference automatically gets the extra point. So it is now 7-6, Ohio State.
I got a poem. There once was a lady from Michigan. Never mind. That one doesn't end well. All right, time for debater number 2 from Michigan. Mike Cronin was actually born in Ann Arbor. He's been doing stand-up for 8 years. In that time, Mike was part of the #1 comedy show in Cincinnati, was selected for the first annual Limestone Comedy Festival, was a finalist in the Funniest Person in Cincinnati contest as both himself and a character. Mike also created the Hipster Song, which has almost 1 million views on YouTube. And no matter how you see Mike Cronin, you, well, leave laughing, but I notice all the accomplishments have happened here in Ohio. Please welcome Mike Cronin, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, it's good to be here. This is the second time I've done this. The first time I did it, Dan assured me that there would be a lot of Michigan people here. And I fell for the trap again. I passed a gun store on the way in. Don't think I don't know this is a trap. Dale didn't even use his real name. I just want to let you know I told everyone I know that I came here, so if I don't come back, they're coming for you. But how about a round of applause for the Ohio State dais? Keep it up for them. I think I used that word right. So we got 2 nerds, an Indian guy, and a hot lady. Cast a Big Bang Theory, everybody. Give it up. Pass the Big Bang Theory.
Personal foul, roughing the Ohio State side, 5-yard penalty.
It's going to make fun of us now. It's going to be offsetting penalties. Don't worry, guys. Michigan side, we all look like child actors who just something happened. Last time I was here, I made fun of Dan, and I don't want to do that this year. He's a very sweet guy. He's got a beautiful wife and an adorable daughter, and he looks like the giant elf that cobbles their shoes. I think. My brother told me this. Bo Schembechler put up a sign in the Michigan locker room that says, those who stay will become champions. And somebody wrote underneath that, those who leave will become doctors, lawyers, and captains of industry. And I don't want to say anything about Ohio State, but I got 2 Ohio State grads screwed up my order at Burger King this morning. So let's get it going, guys. Hail to the victors, valiant. Sumac wasn't lying. It's been a rough year. Should have used fake liquor for this. It's really tinny. It's been in there for a while. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think Ohio State's going to win this year. Even your coach is better than our coach. Urban Meyer, he's a very attractive man. He's very charismatic. Our coach looks like he just got done eating a spicy plate of chicken wings. Just always looks. Your quarterback got hurt before the season started, and you guys are 9-1. I wish we were that lucky. Or we won our last game by the other team. Their quarterback just tripped and the game was over. That just got to be what we hope happens from here on out. In the press conference this week, they asked Brady Hoke, and he said, yeah, we're going to get the D-line to dive right at their feet and hopefully tie their shoelaces together. And Hope said, we're also incorporating a banana peel defense, so. Do I have sauce on my face? I'm going to talk a little bit about the rivalry. It's, I don't know if you guys know this, but it actually predates both colleges. It goes back to when Ohio was a state and Michigan was a territory, and they had several battles over the control of Toledo. And I think, as you can see, Ohio lost. But the government felt so bad, they gave them the UP. They gave Michigan the UP, which is kind of like if you just broke down and decided to order Domino's pizza and they just brought a frozen pizza to you. Like, just good luck with that. I said I'm a diehard Michigan fan, and this rivalry is one of the best things in the world. And good luck this year. Thank you.
Mike Cronin for the Michigan side. Referee Douglas Sells.
All right, Mike, we're going to give you a 6 points. You failed to get the extra point for roughing the competition, so it is now 12-7, Michigan.
12. That's respectable. 12-7. Let's be supportive. All right. You mentioned quarterbacks, though. As I mentioned earlier, J.T. Barrett, Coach Myers, saying that he should be considered for the Heisman Trophy, at least be invited to New York City. I think he should as well. I mean, he's establishing records. He's stepped in and done a tremendous job. He's also humble. He's modest and is connected to no controversy whatsoever, so he has no chance of winning the Heisman. From the Ohio State side, are you ready for your next debater? Yes. So refreshing Yeah, I mean, granted, it's only my second year, but as soon as I found out that we had a woman on the dais, I was thrilled because ladies are Buckeye fans as well. Yes? Show yourselves. And Nancy Winkleman was born a Buckeye fan at the Ohio State University Hospital. What'd I say? Nancy? I said Nikki. What'd I say? Who's Nancy Winkleman? Oh, wait, I know who Nancy Winkleman is. No relation, don't worry. That's not your mom, right? There was a lot of Go Bucks being yelled, that's all I can tell you. Nikki Winkleman, who I actually know, so I don't know why I'm messing up her introduction, was born a Buckeye at the Ohio State University Hospital. She started doing stand-up comedy while studying acting at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Nikki has won both the Midwest Ultimate Funny Championship, CoverGirl Makeup's National Stand-Up for Beauty contest, and currently she is part of the brilliant writing. She's a staff writer at the Shadowbox Live Theater, which is kicking off their holiday hoopla, and she's a part of that. But right now, she's a part of this. Please welcome from the Ohio State side, Nikki Winkleman.
Thank you, Dino. Hi, everybody. This is very exciting. I am a little bit under the weather. That's not a joke. That's just to keep people from touching me after the show. Please don't touch me. I'm not Nancy. I am very excited to be here. I am a Buckeye fan. I have to admit, though, that I don't know a whole lot about football. I know, like, the basic rules, that there's 4 downs, that you get 6 points for a touchdown, that the opportunity for 1 or 2 extra points, and a field goal is 3 points. And I know the difference between encroachment and offsides. Encroachment is when a defensive player crosses over the line of scrimmage before the ball has been snapped. And then offsides is when any player is on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped. Was that hot? That's just a party trick. That's the only thing I know. I memorized just that one thing so that I can impress boys in the room and then disappear into the night like Cinderella, leaving behind a single glass AFCA trophy. I don't even know if that makes sense. I just looked that up. I don't know much about football or any other sport, but I do know that one year I won my March Madness bracket by picking teams based on who I thought, which mascot would win in a fight. There's women applauding in here that I feel like have probably done the same thing. The monetary prize was small, but like shoving in everyone's face was really great. I could very easily pit the mascots against each other this time as well, but that's just too easy. I could take an animal that doesn't even exist anymore in the state of Michigan, or a poisonous nut. But instead, I'm going to talk about colors. Ohio State's colors are scarlet and gray. Let's start with gray. Gray, the color itself, is the intermediate between black and white, which sounds very harmonious. There's a lot of white in here tonight, though. It's okay, there's a lot of gray, too. And gray, of course, being a symbol of wisdom. Gray, in many religions, is a color that represents humility and modesty. Gray matter is what makes up our brains. In the American Civil War, gray was the color of the... Actually, you know what? Let's just skip over that one. Earl Grey is a very delicious tea. Gandalf the Grey was a very wise wizard who helped two hobbits across Middle-earth to save the universe. Okay, never mind. Jennifer Grey, very beautiful actress, Ferris Bueller's sister, was in Dirty Dancing. And then, of course, ladies, 50 Shades of Grey. Need I say more? Let's move on to scarlet. Since ancient times, scarlet has been a color of power, wealth, and luxury. In modern America, scarlet is most often associated with courage, force, passion, heat, and joy. Scarlet is to be feared, scarlet fever. Scarlet is to be desired, Scarlett O'Hara, Scarlett Johansson, Miss Scarlet, the hottest character in the game Clue. I always wanted to play as Miss Scarlet. Scarlet is to be respected. In the Roman Catholic Church, scarlet is worn by the cardinal, an ecclesiastical prince, and symbolizes the blood of Christ and his sacrifice. Anybody want to mess with the blood of Christ? I didn't think so. Scarlet is also the color of another cardinal, Ohio State bird. And the most beautiful thing about the Ohio State bird, the cardinal, is that the male is scarlet and the female is gray. So that's nice and beautiful. Two colors coming together in nature. I took a lot of Dayquil. Don't touch me. Now let's move on to Michigan's colors, maize and blue. We'll start with blue because that's easier. Blue is the color of sadness. Sometimes you say you may be feeling blue or singing the blues. I was going to sing Blue Christmas, but I've been told not to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Blue is also a color associated with cold and winter. Blue is the color your toes may turn when you get hypothermia. Blue is the color your testicles may turn when Miss Scarlet won't call you back.
You're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I used the medical term. I was told to keep it clean, and blue, if you don't know, is also a term that comedians use as a term for being not clean or being dirty. So summing that up, blue meaning dirty, sad, and cold, all things which represent Michigan nicely. Maize. I couldn't find a whole lot on the color maize, only that it's a color named for the cereal grain of the same color. Cereal, Captain Crunch, Kix, Corn Pops. These are all symbols of cereal. The only other thing that I could find on the color maize was that Nike trademarked the color maize. Is that true? And now you can't use it anymore? That is sad. No matter what you want to call it, the color is yellow. I mean, let's be honest, that's yellow. Yellow is the color of jaundice. Yellow is also the color of butter, egg yolks, and other high cholesterol foods. Yellow informally is synonymous with coward. You better get back in there if you don't want them to think you're yellow. I don't know who that was. I took a lot of Dayquil. And then lastly, yellow is also the color of lemons. And I would like to sum this all up by saying that when life hands you lemons, you make the University of Michigan. Thank you very much.
Nikki Winkleman. Come on, right more time for Nikki Winkleman. That's Referee Doug Lascelles, come on.
All right, that was a solid touchdown for Nikki, and for not being the love child of Dino and Nancy Winkleman, you get the 2-point conversion, so 8 points. Ohio State goes ahead 15-12.
That would have been awfully awesome, though, wouldn't it? That would have been a story. I got a couple things to mention before we move on. Of course, thank you for being here today, and remind you to join us at Lucky's Bar and Grill afterwards when it's all said and done. And we're gonna have some more things to raffle off over there. And what the Rotary Kiwanis does here, they support the Sun Ministry Summer Food Program, Park Benches for Hilliard Park and Rec, Student of the Month, scholarships, 3 Interact service clubs, 1 at each high school. They do a lot. So this money goes to a lot of great causes. Give them a nice round of applause. And thank them for their efforts all year long. Time to hear from the Michigan side once again. Jay Snyder, selected for the Boston Comedy Festival as a former winner of the Funniest Person in Columbus, Cincinnati, and Dayton. From bar fights, cop fights to laughing crowds with stage lights, this down-home country boy is just trying to survive on the mean streets of rural Dayton. You'll be able to relate to his jokes or just laugh along with them because, according to this, he's downright hilarious even though he's from Michigan. So please welcome Jay Snyder.
Give it up for Dino. Good God, Floyd Mayweather couldn't have done better himself. My God, that was good reading there, man.
Personal foul, piling on the MC. 10 yards, repeat first down.
All right. Duly noted. I also want to thank the Rotary Club and Foot Locker for sponsoring the show here. So, this is fun.
We're running a sale on Converse after the debate.
Duly noted. I'm a little nervous, man. It's kind of intimidating, you know. Last time I was in a room with this many cameras and people, there was a judge and jury present, you know, so hanging in there. I was flattered when Dan asked me to do this show. I was excited. I was like, oh, he probably wants to hang out or something afterwards. It'll be fun. He's like, no, we need you on the Michigan side, buddy. I was like, oh, thanks, Dan. Then I find out I wasn't even the first pick. I'm a replacement for Bill Arundel. You know? Hell, I'm like the last pick in gym class, you know, for the other team, you know? So like I'm out there on the basketball court stretching out with my teammates, you know, and the coach walks up with the other team's jersey. Here we go, buddy. Need you on the other side of the court today, you know? We want you to play, just not with us, you know? But it's good. I live in Dayton, Ohio. No brag. A lot of you probably know Dayton is the Detroit of Ohio, so I am glad to be here. You guys are awful proud of your football team, huh? A little pride for the Ohio State Buckeyes? Yeah. The other 200 of you, don't worry about clapping. The hell with it, you know. It's yeah. I like the pride. You guys are a little cocky, though. I will say you guys are a little cocky, you know, here in Columbus. Oh, would you just hurry up and die, sir? Good God. We'll wait. Go ahead. All right. Yeah, a little cocky here in Columbus, you know. You got the best zoo in the country, right? The best football program in the world. I mean, even your homeless people have $1 million voices. Wowee, you know. Yeah, sometimes you're a little judgy too. I'll say, I know my father-in-law's a die-hard Buckeye fan. A die-hard Buckeye fan. His next-door neighbor, Michigan fan. You know how he found out? His neighbor was putting a Michigan flag up on his porch one day, and he's looking at it, he goes, oh, you got to be kidding me. Goes walking over there. Goes walking right up there. Right to the edge of the driveway, though. He wouldn't even step on his lawn. You know, he's like, Michigan, really? Michigan, dude? Do you not have Christ in your heart? What's wrong with you, man? I was like, man, calm down. There's enough room for all of us. He's like, no, there ain't. Not for idiots like that, you know? He's like, he's stupid. And he's very hateful. He's like, oh, I hate Michigan. Hate everything about him. Hate the people. Hate the state. Hate everything about him. I was like, well, we got stupid people here, too, you know? Some of them in this room, back there in that corner. We do have stupid people here in Columbus. You know, this is where some of our laws are made, you know. I'll prove to you that we have stupid people in Columbus here. This is a list, just a few. These are actual laws here in the state of Ohio. Did you know, for instance, it is illegal to fish for whales on Sunday here in the great state of Ohio? Thank you, lawmakers. All right. The Ohio Driver's Manual states you must honk your horn whenever you pass a car. Also, participating or conducting in a duel is prohibited. As some of you may know, I don't know much about football, so I'm going kind of the legal part of it. You know, you're right what you know. I want to watch more football, but I made $1,200 last year. I got other stuff to worry about right now, you know? It is. I got married last year and had to register at Kroger's, you know? Also, in Bexley, the installation and usage of slot machines in outhouses is prohibited. Well, what do you expect us to do, Your Honor? Read? And my personal favorite, it is illegal in the great state of Ohio to get a fish drunk. Yeah. So when you guys are out there tailgating the next couple weeks, remember, you can drink like a fish, just not with one, all right? This is going about like I figured it would. Something that I've learned in Michigan, they'll hold up their right hand to show you where they're from. Here in Columbus, you just hold up a finger and tell them where to go. I like that about you guys. And good God, you get judged more for driving through this state with Michigan license plates than you do if you have the yellow DUI plates. You know. For those of you who don't know, in Ohio, after you get a couple of DUIs, you get yellow license plates, and that gives the police probable cause to pull you over at any time, which is damn inconvenient when you're an alcoholic, right, Dino? I tried to outsmart the police. I just took a Sharpie and wrote Alaska on top of the damn thing. Spelled it wrong. And I think that's it. I just do want to note that I love the way that during the national anthem, everybody was panicking like hell looking around for the flag. I really got a kick out of that. Thanks a lot, everybody.
For the Michigan side, Jay Snyder. Jay Snyder. Where's my glasses? What do you think, Doug?
Another solid touchdown, and you also get 2 points for breaking out the broke comedian sympathy vote. So we're going to give you 8 points for that one. And Michigan goes ahead 20-15.
Ooh. Jay mentioned all those things about Ohio. We found out on the air this week that Ohio is also the 16th. We love green bean casseroles. We are the 16th most loving, eating green bean casserole state in the Union. Which I don't understand that at all. That's why I hate potlucks. Every time we get invited to a potluck, I dread it. I dread it. Because when you go to a potluck, what do you go? What do you see? 9 green bean casseroles and a pie. Let's be honest, one thing lucky about a potluck is if somebody actually brings pot. Which is what I did the last one I went to. Only I put it in a big brownie. And they ate it up. Hour and a half later, 9 empty green bean casseroles. Next, for the Ohio State side, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Banks has performed in clubs and colleges across the United States, including the world-famous Comedy Store in Hollywood, California. After winning the Columbus Funny Bone Talent Search, he has shared a stage with big names like Carlos Mencia, Bruce, Gary Owen, and now he's here. Please welcome Jay Snyder. No, Jason Banks.
Now, you can keep clapping for Dino too, man. It's the first time I've ever met a grown man with a pet name, so put your hands together for that. His parents were gonna go with Seabiscuit or Snowball, but they decided Dino would be the best choice. I want to start out by saying somebody told me to expect an all-black crowd. That was a lie. In my defense, I did tell him the show was in Whitehall, so that was my mistake. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate Dan inviting me, man. I love this place. It looks so expensive in here. Everybody's so friendly. I feel like I'm at my white friend's house. They got brand name Papa stuff. That's classy to me. As soon as I came in, they were like, "Hey, sir, you want a Dr. Pepper?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I want a Dr. Pepper. What does that taste like?" And the poor people in the audience wouldn't believe this tastes just like Dr. Thunder. Delicious. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. I had 14 since I've been here, you know? I love Columbus. I love coming to Columbus and getting to visit all the gas stations. I don't know, whatever you guys have, I like to do. I just came from a Speedway, real nice place you guys have. Very kid-friendly. Enjoyed my whole experience there. I had the hot dog. It was really good. I'm going to start out with Ohio State by saying, you know what I love about Ohio State? I love the band, right? The band. The best damn band in the land. That's a great accomplishment. I mean, they're better than Aerosmith and the Beatles. That is good, right? I fell in love with the band last year when they did the Michael Jackson tribute. You guys see that? That was amazing. They slid across the field. That's amazing. That's when I realized the band is cooler than the football team, right? I feel like Ohio State's the only place where the starting quarterback can lose his girlfriend to a tuba player, right? She's like, "I know you throw a touchdown, JT, but Richard can moonwalk. I like a moonwalker. Plus he dots the I. That's sexy, right? That's sexy. I love the band. I just hate Michigan fans. I can't stand them. They smell funny. I actually broke up with a girl one time because she was a Michigan fan. I had an Ohio State party. I had on my Ohio State jersey. She came over with a Michigan jersey. Saw me, thought it was cute. She was like, "We should take a picture." I'm like, "No, we should see other people. What are you wearing?" She's like, "Go blue." I'm like, "No, go change. You need to put some other clothes on." I hate Michigan. I got some friends that are Michigan fans. They like to bring up the past. They're like, "Hey man, we got a national championship under our belt." I'm like, "Yeah, that's like 20 years ago. That's a long time ago." Like, not only was Michael Jackson alive, but he was my complexion. That's a minute ago. You gotta remember, last 15 years of his life, he was Daryl's complexion, right? So, it's a long time ago. But one thing I can say about Michigan fans are they're brave. I think it was the fans of the Detroit Pistons that fought the Indiana Pacers. You guys see that? Malice in the Palace. That's some brave stuff to fight a professional basketball team. You're gonna fight a guy whose job is to work out daily, and you're a cashier at Walgreens? That's brave. I'm not that stupid. If I was there, I don't care how mad I was, I wouldn't fight the basketball team. I'd fight the cheerleaders. You can swing on Jermaine O'Neal if you want to. I'm gonna go beat up Kristen. She put her pom-poms in my face. That is disrespectful. I don't even know how you recruit people to Michigan. The way the living conditions are horrible, the high murder rates. How do you make that attractive? I feel like they just walk up to young recruits and say, hey, sir, excuse me, do you like to die? Is being alive getting in your way? Come to Michigan, we'll shoot you in the face tonight. Huh? One thing I love though is to see a lot of people who actually committed to Michigan are now backing away, and some are actually coming to Ohio State now, and I like that. I like the fact that Ohio State is like the Angelina Jolie of college football. We'll take your man. We don't care about commitment. We like him. We think he's cute. We want him on our team, right? I think that's crazy. One thing I can say about Brady Hoke, though, even though I don't like him, I can say I like one thing he did. Whenever their defensive end was just recently charged with a horrible crime, Brady Hoke stood up and he said, we don't tolerate that, and he removed him from the program. Other things, Brady Hoke doesn't tolerate winning. He's not a big fan of victories. Points and touchdowns are his biggest pet peeves. You guys don't know about that. They're just horrible. As a matter of fact, Devin Gardner been sacked more than any other quarterback in the Big Ten. At this point, I feel like it's part of the playbook. I feel like he's in the huddle like, you guys know what make champions? Dedication, determination, concentration, and the will to win, which we have none of. 3-yard loss on 2. Ready, break. In closing though, guys, next week when Michigan loses to Ohio State, I just want everybody, Michigan fans, to be optimistic, don't get discouraged, look at the bright side. That's what I do. You know how many fights I've been in my life? A lot. You know how many times I won? 0. But I don't get discouraged, I just look at the bright side. I'm optimistic. I'm like, screw it, I got second place, right? Like, I'm the runner-up of the fight, right? So in closing, if everybody could just raise your glasses, for me, raise your glasses. And just pour it on the closest Michigan fan. They ain't gonna do anything. Yeah. We're in numbers, baby. That's my time. I'm Jason Banks, guys.
Illegal use of the microphone. You okay, Dino? Clearly he's not been around a microphone at any point in his life.
I got you. It's crazy.
I don't know. What's wrong with it? It's on the bottom. Operator error. You pushed the bottom of it. Why didn't you tell me it was that technical? I might have been able to figure it out. I only speak on one of these every day of the week, right? All right, Doug, after that fine performance, we have to move ahead, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, Jay definitely gets the touchdown, and sort of a play on the old Woody Hayes line, because I cannot give him 3. I'm absolutely going to give him 2. So another 8 points for Ohio State.
Yeah!
To go up 23-20. And Dino, before we move on, we got a little business to take care of. Thanks to all of you for, look at how many raffle tickets we sold.
That's awesome.
Thank you very much. All goes to the cause. And Dino, we are going to ask you to pull out a winning raffle ticket. They win $500. If it is either you or Nikki's name on it, you're disqualified.
The number is, don't want to get this wrong, 069329. 069329. 069329.
And for you Michigan fans in attendance who can't count to 5, we'll have somebody helping you out.
Who's got it? Right there? Congratulations. It's a Buckeye. Congratulations. $500 to you, sir. And also, since we're talking about money real quick, everybody's got these on their chairs. These are cards, The Great Debate, and a website, localevents.com. If you go to this website before the Ohio State-Michigan game, you can get $50 off the next table for next year's Great Debate. Or you can take your phone, and this is where I don't understand things because it's technical, you can actually scan this little Rorschach picture on the back and on your phone, and that'll take you there as well. And supposedly through technology and everything else, it'll get you to where you need to go I think it's science fiction BS, but okay. But nonetheless, it'll get you to where you need to go to get $50 off next time for the OSU game tables for next year. All right, moving right along. Since we've solved everything enough, it's time to bring up another Michigan guy. Chris Cohen is a former winner of both the funniest person in Columbus, Ohio, and the funniest person in Cincinnati. Sarcasm and embarrassing honesty are delivered in heavy doses when he hits the stage. So please, in heavy doses, welcome back Chris Cohen from Michigan.
Thanks everybody for coming out here, and I'd like to thank the comics for keeping it clean. There's no need to go all Ohio State marching band and make it dirty in here.
The ruling on the field was that joke sucked. Michigan challenged that ruling, and after further review, the call stands that joke did suck.
At least I still have my pants on, I'll take it. Let's give it up for your MC, the Grinch. He's been great here today. I loved, you gotta get Dino the MC early because happy hour's coming up, so you're not gonna get him after that. Just remember, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings and Dino takes a shot. I gotta reintroduce our roasters here. Let's reintroduce you to the fine team from Michigan here. Daryl Dawson was our first roaster tonight. If you may remember, last year Daryl was a Buckeye roaster. However, he had to switch sides because the Michigan side needed a lot of help, apparently. The only group of people that need more help than Team Michigan this year is the group of assistant coaches that had to keep Noah Spence out of the dance clubs all night. He really liked to dance, if you know what I mean. All right, no one got that drug reference. Should have known not to drop an ecstasy reference in this crowd. All right, we'll move on. I deserve that silence. That was my fault. Our next roaster was Mike Cronin. Mike lives in Cincinnati, but he's moving soon to Chicago. Good luck to Mike. Cincinnati was fine for him, but he was bored with the lack of drive-by shooting, so he had to move. And everyone's from Chicago, too. All right. That's good to know. Lastly, we had Jay Snyder. Jay's originally from southeastern Ohio, if you can't tell by his accent. I don't know if Jay supports the maize and blue or he just thought this was the fanciest West Virginia tailgate party he'd ever seen. There's no couches on fire yet, Jay, wrong party. For Ohio State, first up was Sumak Tergalkar. I know Sumak is a funny comic and probably the biggest Cleveland sports fan living in Columbus currently. It's a big year for you, Sumak. LeBron is back. The Browns are sort of winning. And my favorite Cleveland sports trivia this year, Johnny Manziel had the #1 selling jersey in the NFL for like a month. Wow, really? Sober up, Cleveland. Johnny Manziel was Justin Bieber with a helmet. He sucks. Nikki Wigman was up next. Now, Nikki was the first female comic we've had, and she smashed a lot of stereotypes about what women know about football by talking about colors for 10 minutes. In fairness, though, I've been to these debates before. The average comedian knows about as much as football as a Star Trek convention. I just think women get a bum rap when it comes to sports knowledge. That's ridiculous. I think women know a lot about sports, and quite frankly, I think women are better than men at just about everything. And if you haven't figured it out yet, my wife is here today. I'm trying to get permission to go to the bar tomorrow, so. Next up for Ohio State was Jason Banks. Before I could even say anything about Jason, I looked at the Ohio State lineup and went, holy crap, Dan put more diversity on the Ohio State team than the UN meeting. If you could just get a Samoan or a transgender person, you can make a McDonald's commercial later. And finally, we're going to have Dan coming up to close the show out, as always. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess Dan's going to sing a horrible song from the 80s this year. I was driving in here, I heard Bananarama, I went, dear God, please don't sing Cruel Summer. Hanging out with Dan is like being stuck in a karaoke bar that just lost its liquor license. Like all the bad singing and none of the booze to wash it down. Of course, I'm closing out Michigan this year. That's a lot of fun after the season Michigan's had in Columbus, Ohio, of all places. That's like being asked to do the benefits of Ebola at a debate. Like, you can lose a lot of weight really quick, I guess. I think I'm going to lose the debate. So I thought I'd just wrap it up and just say, what does OSU really stand for? Let's go through the letters. O doesn't stand for Ohio if you're an Ohio State fan or observant of the Ohio State fans. You know, O stands for overreaction. After a narrow win against Navy, I heard people call into sports radio and write to the Dispatch that Ohio State should be the #1 team in the country. The next week, they lost to Virginia Tech, and those same people called saying we should fire the entire coaching staff and hire Bud Foster for $14 million a year. The Hokies are 5-5 now. They did just beat a Southern powerhouse Duke, though, so they got that going for them. Let's hire that guy immediately. No one knows who Bud Foster is. I knew it. Not that diehard, apparently. All right. The S stands for not state, but rather stress. One of my favorite things in college football was when Urban Meyer left Florida. He left so because he said the stress of the job was causing him health problems. Took less than 1 year off and came to the 15th largest city in the United States, where people would give up their firstborn children to cover the spread against Kent State. Good call, Urban. You know, being a comedian is pretty stressful. I think I'm going to give it up and become an air traffic controller at JFK. That sounds... I think that'll really help me out. And finally, the U. The U stands for university. That one actually is true. University, that's the group of buildings that Terrell Pryor accidentally saw his junior year when he was heading to the tattoo parlor and took a wrong turn. Like, hey, that's where I'm supposed to be Monday through Friday. All right. That's it for me in Michigan. Thanks, and get your earplugs ready. Here comes Dan.
I'm going to try to be completely unbiased. I thought Chris Cohen did a nice job, Doug. I really did.
He did, and as much as it pains me, I am going to give him the 2-point conversion as well. So Michigan goes up 28-23.
Wow. All right. No pressure for our final debater of the night.
By the way, it's worth the price of admission just to watch that vein pop out of Dan's head. It's awesome.
Also note, I'm not the first person who said night. We're all comedians, and we're all, whenever we get in this situation, we think it's dark out. So that's going to be a real culture shock when we go back out there after this is all said and done. 2 Luckies, I might add. The party continues after this is all said and finished. So please.
And before we go on, we should thank the Hilliard Association not only for all the great work they do, but for the fact that if you haven't had enough to drink at noon, you can go over to Lucky's and drink more. So big round of applause for Rotary. Good public service.
I know the mayor of Hilliard's here. I got his business card. I'm just going to show that. Apparently that's not going to work. Okay, fine. All right, our last debater of the afternoon. Dan Swarthout's 12th year now debating for Ohio State. Dan won the Carnival Cruise Line's Comedy Challenge. You may have remembered the Salmonella tour that he just had not too long ago. He's been the warm-up comedian for CNBC's Mad Money and is currently the studio audience host for Cash Explosion. Dan's CD, 100% certified HPA, debuted in the top 40 on the iTunes comedy charts and is currently in regular rotation at Sirius XM Radio. Here to wrap it up for the Ohio State side, my good buddy, Dan Swarnow.
Let's hear it for Dino, everybody. Dino. It's good to be back. It's great to be here. It's always great to be here for the great debate. This is my 12th year. It's amazing. It's always so much fun. I always have a great time. And how about all these phenomenal comedians up here tonight who did such a wonderful job, all of them donating their time today to be a part of this great event. I thought they were all fantastic. How about that? And of course, Dino and Doug. Let's hear it for Dino and Doug. Chris is right. I like terrible songs. I like a lot of them. And Chris, you might actually be disappointed by what I do this year if you were worried that I was going to do one terrible song. You might be a little bit disappointed because there's a few things, a couple things that you know about me, maybe you don't know about me. I have become known as a comedian famous for my high kicks. I kick really, really high. I really do. I'm a 40-year-old man. I can touch my knee to my forehead. I can do that. I'm that good. And somebody asked, Dan, why have you never busted out a high kick at the Great Debate? And I haven't. 12 years. I'm 40 now. This might be my last year I can do this. So I have been able to combine my love of bad songs and my love of high kicks into one presentation for all of you here today. I want to thank you all so much for being here. Go Buckeyes! This is some high-tech stuff right here. When Braxton Miller got hurt, thought the season was done. Cruising through the schedule on a not-hot run. Suddenly a freshman, step up to the line. Loud voice booming, everything will be just fine. 29 touchdowns later, 2,300 yards. He's accurate near and he's accurate far. Baritone. Baritone, baritone. Baby, Giants defense is crazy. Every time I look around, every time I look around, that ball never hits the ground. It's in your face. Born in 1964, better than your coach for sure. Florida, Utah, finally where he belongs. His teams are always ranked. His middle name is Frank. He's probably really strong. This is such a stupid song. We love Urban Meyer. If the air's real nice, I'd probably wash his car. We love Urban Meyer. No, that isn't right. I'd wash it anyway. Don't turn around, uh-oh. Joey Bosa is in town, uh-oh. He's in your eye, and you know why. When you drop back, you know you're gonna cry. For you, Devin Gardner. Sack, 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 sack. I think I tweaked the hammy, Dino. A little bit of fumble in Michigan. A little bit of Brady Hoke's double chin. A little bit recruiting's in a hole. A little bit going to the Quick Lane Bowl. A little bit passing game is a joke. A little bit free tickets for a Coke. A little bit another loss to the Bucks. A little bit that's
That's why Michigan sucks.
Come on down to the Horseshoe, Brady. It won't be fun. Come on down to the Horseshoe, Brady, or you'll be down. Last time in our city. Last time in our city. Get that resume real pretty. Last time in the city. Last time, so sad to see you go, Brady. We love you in Ohio. The maize and blue sucks. That's why we love Brady so much. Last time in the city. Thank you guys so much. Go Buckeyes! Go Buckeyes! Dino Tripodis!
Ladies and gentlemen, for his 12th appearance, Dan Swartout. Yeah. Is his wife, Tasha, are you here? There, Tasha, you must be so proud. She is. Oh, there's more? Nice. Well, it's good that it's headed towards a nice sunny 95 way of things. I appreciate that. Wow. All right. Douglas Sells.
A long drive, very impressive touchdown. No doubt about the 2-point conversion, and Ohio State goes up and wins the great debate, I think for like the 33rd year in a row, go figure. 31-28.
There you go. Bravo, well done. And congratulations. Thank you to the Michigan side of things. Give them a round of applause. They have a tough job being the somewhat scapegoatish gentlemen that they have to be for this particular event. But in all sincerity, remind you, first of all, to come to Lucky's because the party continues. For those of you who have just blown off this Friday, where are you going to go now? Seriously. You're going to go back to work now? Really? The mayor's here for crying out loud. He doesn't even have anything to do. So go over to Lucky's after it's all said and done. More prizes there, including those football tickets that are going to be auctioned off over there. So join us there for some more drinks and food and lots of fun as we kill off the rest of this afternoon. On behalf of Rotary International, I want to thank them for inviting me back for a second year. I want to thank both the Ohio State and the Michigan side of comics for their help this afternoon. Douglas Sells right there. We got to get through Indiana before it's all said and done. I did that already. Do it again? All right. He wants me to hit it again. Locallevelevents.com. If you do this and go on this website before the Ohio State-Michigan game, you can get $50 off your next table for next year because we're expecting this grew just a little bit more from last year, so we hope to grow it even a bit more next year. It would be nice to just fill this place up completely to the max of whatever it holds. So you can go there and get $50 off. If you're coming next year anyway, you might as well save yourself $50 and get it done now. So thank you, Doug, for giving me that and reminding me of that. On behalf of Rotary International and everybody here this afternoon, my name is Dino Tripodis. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you next year. Go Bucks!